Do you know why you haven't been able to buy a house in the Austin area yet? Now, you may not like this answer, but your perception of what's actually going on right now may not be 100% accurate. Yeah, I know it's competitive. Yeah, I know a lot of buyers have cash to bid over list price. And yeah, I know there's a million excuses. But while you're believing those excuses and are still renting, there are literally thousands of people successfully buying houses in the Austin area every single month. Stick around for this video and I'll give you some valuable information to help you change your perspective and help you become more competitive in this current market. Do you remember eBay auctions in the early 2000s? Now, if you didn't actually experience it, it might be difficult for you to fully understand what I mean when I say buying a house in Austin today is very much like eBay auctions back then. There was a frenzy about it, where the bidding process itself became addictive, and the idea of winning became more important than the actual item that you were bidding on. You can look this up to verify it, but there were countless examples of items that were worth $5 selling for well over $1,000. Now, in order for that to happen, there certainly had to be two people who wanted the same item, and their desire to win became more important than the cost. And part of what was driving their willingness to spend more was an expectation that the item that they were bidding on was somehow going to be more valuable in the future. Now, it doesn't take very long to see some striking similarities between that and the current Austin housing market. I think we can all agree that there is a frenzy about it, and there certainly are people who are willing to pay more than the actual list price. In order to better understand where we're currently at, we need to take a little time and understand what got us here. This is months of inventory in the Austin metro for the last 30 years. Anything under 6 months is considered a seller's market where prices appreciate. And Austin has been under 6 months for 30 years. There were 2 points where inventory dropped under 2 months, which is critically low. In 1999, it was short-lived, but starting around 2013, we've been hovering around 2 months for about 7 years. Take a look at what happened in 2020. It dropped to less than 1 month of available inventory. Now, it's important to remember, this is not the city of Austin. This is not a specific neighborhood or area. This is the entire Austin metro area. And no matter what anybody might tell you about their predictions about where this is all going, inventory has never been this low. So we truly are in uncharted territory. This graph shows population growth for the last 30 years. Not the percentage growth, but the total number of people moving to the Austin metro. Do you remember that dip in available inventory in 1999? Notice that the total number of people moving here decreased in the years following, which helped the months of inventory to recover. But that did not happen in 2013. We have had about 60,000 people move to Austin every year for nearly a decade. And to put that in perspective, that's like taking a city the size of Leander and dumping it into the Austin metro every single year. Of course, this has had a huge impact on prices and appreciation. For 30 years, there has only been 2 periods where there was modest to slightly negative appreciation in this median price. But even if you would have bought a house right before the worst period of negative growth, the value of that house would have increased by 20% in a little over 5 years. Which brings us to this current market. Now, you've probably heard the stories of buyers with a lot of cash who are paying substantially more than list price. Well, I pulled some sales data from Leander, which is arguably one of the hottest areas, primarily because of its proximity to all of the technology companies. All of the closings within the last 30 days and filtering out new construction, there were some examples of sales prices substantially over list price, but these 13 transactions represent less than 10% of all the transactions. So just like an eBay auction, where the price of a $5 item gets bid up well over $1,000, at the same time that auction is going on, there's another one going on with a virtually identical item that's selling much closer to list price. Here's the breakdown. For the 147 transactions that closed in Leander in the last 30 days, 30% of them were less than 10% over the list price, and 64% of them were less than 20% over. This is the average dollar amounts over list price. If we go south to Buda, which is about the same distance south of Central Austin as Leander is north, the percentage is even higher. Half of the houses sold were less than 10% over list price, with an average dollar amount of $16,000. And 75% of them were less than 20% over, with an average dollar amount of $45,000. Now, I hope this shows that in this market, you might need some money to be competitive, but you're probably not going to need nearly as much as you think. And remember, even if you went 20% over market value, which is not always the same thing as list price, but even if you did go 20% over market value, historical appreciation indicates that you'll probably be able to recover that in a relatively short period of time. Remember too, there are actually houses out there that sell at or under list price. And we're probably going to begin to see more and more of these as sellers inflate their list price based on that small number of transactions that sold substantially over. Well, I hope this is helpful. You know, I get emails, texts, and phone calls almost every day from people who are thinking about buying or selling real estate here in the Austin area, and I would love to help you out too. If you like my videos, be sure to subscribe to the channel and hit that notification bell. All of my contact information is in the video description, so don't be shy. Let's make your real estate dreams come true.